is one of few Latinos working in computer science. He came to the United States at the age of 4.
When does Juan fall in love with computers?
Then my father bought me the Atari.
From playing video games to having his own tech company, Juan Vives has created over 1,000 websites.
I count my blessings every day.
What are you doing right now? I don't want to touch that.
Beekeeping. It's only been legal in New York City since 2010. Believe it or not, there are a lot of rooftop hives just like this one all over the city.
Good morning, everybody. We are in the midst of what will likely be known as the blizzard of 2016. I'm Ben Simmoneau.
And I'm Jen Lahmers. Thanks for joining us for our very special coverage of this massive winter storm, the first one of the season. So let's take a live look outside right now. This is Prospect Heights in Brooklyn. And boy, I mean, if we can get a shot up there, I'll tell you, yeah. Visibility is very, very low, as you can see.
Let's go to Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York. He is having a press conference right now, declared a state of emergency in New York. Here's the governor.
Joseph Giulietta, who's the president of the Metro North and is filling in for Tom Prendergast, who has a health issue that he's attending to. Ronnie Haycom, who is president of the MTA New York City Transit. Major General Patrick Murphy. To my left, Patricia Grover, who's the first deputy superintendent, New York State Police. Patrick Foy, head of the Port Authority. Matthew Driscoll, Commissioner, Department of Transportation. Bill Mulrose, Secretary to the Governor, who's in charge of everything. Anything that goes wrong, it is Bill Mulrose's fault, period, because he will assume total responsibility. John Melville, who is Commissioner of the New York State Department of Homeland Services. He's in charge of emergency management. It seems the weather forecasters got it right this time. Not that they don't always get it right, but there is a blizzard. It's come up the coast, and it is prepared to hit New York. It is now hitting New York. The eye of the storm is supposed to hit at 11 o'clock. I have declared a state of emergency, given the conditions that have been presented. The state of emergency is for New York City, Nassau, Suffolk, Westchester, Putnam counties, Rockland, and Orange counties. What a state of emergency does is it gives the governor power to do certain contracting abilities, close roads, close systems, etc., if the conditions dictate. Anyone who has looked out the window understands the conditions. The snowfall is forecasted up to 24 inches. The snow is combined with very high gusts of wind, which makes traveling and the road situation dangerous and difficult. We are keeping an eye on what I consider the worst of Mother Nature's wrath, which are flooding conditions New York City and along Long Island. The flooding is probably the most problematic situation. It poses a real safety consideration. It does tremendous damage in its aftermath, so we're keeping an eye on that. In terms of what we have done in response, we are fully deployed, the National Guard. We have hundreds of pieces of equipment that have been moved down from the Department of Transportation. The state police have been dispatched all through the metropolitan area. So everything that can be done has been done in terms of deployment of resources from Homeland Security and every state agency that is responsive. The roads are open, but that is a deceptive statement. We have not closed the roads. However, as I've said before, and I can't say it forcefully enough, unless there is an emergency situation or a critical need, you should not be on the roads. I have been on the roads all through the metropolitan area this morning. They are incredibly dangerous. I don't care how superb a driver, how big a four-wheel drive vehicle you have, the roads are barely passable. And what always happens in these situations is it's one thing to deal with Mother Nature. Our own citizens can create the greatest issues. You go out on the road, all it takes is one car to get stuck, and now that road is not passable, and the plows can't plow that road, and the situation quickly descends into chaos. We have seen this time and time again, where we have said, don't be on the road unless you need to be on the road. People go out on the roads, and the situation gets dangerous. I've seen situations where people get stranded in cars overnight, and the situation gets frightening very quickly. So the roads are technically open, but if you really do not need to leave your house, I can't stress enough, you should not leave your house. The MTA is operating. We'll hear from President of New York City Transit Authority, Ronnie Hakem, about some particulars. We have issues on train routes, what's called exterior train routes that are exposed to the weather as opposed to the underground train routes. We have some equipment issues, signals, et cetera. And we have issues that are developing for the buses on the roads because the buses are having difficulty and the buses are getting stuck. And President Hakem will speak to that. Pat Foy will speak to the airports, but the airlines actually, I think, acted responsibly by canceling the flights ahead of schedule, which kept people off the roads and kept people from getting stranded in the airports. In terms of power outages, we have several thousand power outages, primarily on Long Island. That sounds like a lot in a situation like this. Actually, that's not overly problematic. And the utility companies have been good about getting to the power outages and correcting them, so that's good news. As I mentioned before, we are fully deployed in terms of assets and resources. We moved assets from upstate to the metropolitan area, and that has basically been completed, and they are in place. Silver lining is, unfortunately, this is probably the fifth, sixth, or seventh type of situation that we've dealt with. So we have experience in going through this. Also, especially in the metropolitan area, this is a different metropolitan area than we had when Superstorm Sandy hit. We've made a lot of improvements. The physical infrastructure has been changed. The shoreline has been changed. There are more berms. There are more barriers to high floods. Also, we have additional equipment. The airports are in a different position than they were. There's more pumps, more machinery to move water more quickly. We actually have more emergency response equipment than we've had in the past. So once the storm finishes, we'll be in a better position to clean up after the storm. This is not a short storm. They're talking about 2 full days of weather. But once that clears, we'll be in a better position to clean up as quickly as possible. We're in full coordination with all our governmental partners. I spoke to Governor Christie last night. We're in communication this morning. Obviously, whatever decision we make in New York State affects the other states. If we decide to close roads, for example, in New York State, if the roads are open in New Jersey, that creates problems, or vice versa. We've been speaking to all our local government partners, Mayor de Blasio, Nassau County Executive for Nassau, Suffolk, Westchester, Rockland, to get their best input. I'll be going to Long Island this afternoon. We are concerned about Long Island. The Long Island Expressway is a critical road that we've had issues before. Long Island Railroad has specific issues that Mr. Giulietta will speak to. And of course, flooding is a primary concern on Long Island. And we've experienced that before, and as I mentioned, that is probably the worst curveball that Mother Nature can throw is the flooding conditions, especially on Long Island. But with that, let me turn it over first to Ronnie Haycom, president of the MTA New York City Transit, to give us the update on what we're dealing with the subways and buses. Ronnie?
Thank you, Governor. You know, as you've noted, there are deteriorating weather conditions. Safety, of course, for our customers and our employees is our top priority. There is very poor visibility outside. There is very poor roadway conditions outside. Therefore, we think it is prudent to suspend all MTA and MTA New York City Transit bus service, the bus service, at noon this morning. We will be suspending all bus service at noon until further notice. We encourage all our customers, all MTA service customers, to go to mta.info for real-time travel information and updates on the services that we're providing. Let me note on the subway side, weather continues to be a concern around the maintenance of our above-ground, our exterior subway service. So we are watching that very carefully, and of course we'll provide any updates. Again, mta.info is the best place for real-time travel information. Thank you.
Thanks very much. We will go to Commissioner Matt Driscoll, who is the Commissioner of Transportation for the state, who will give us an update on the roads. Matt?
Thank you, Governor. Currently, we have all of our assets out plowing now, attacking the snowstorm. 510 plows, 88 loaders, and 6 tow plows with over 587 personnel. As you mentioned, and with the increased totals expected north in the Westchester region, we are currently shifting an additional 40 plows and trucks to that region, along with 88 personnel. I want to follow what the governor said as well. We are strongly urging all motorists to stay off the roads. One look outside should tell you why. Please let our plow operators do their job safely.
Great. Joseph Giulietta, who is the president of the Metro North Railroad, and as I mentioned, Tom Prendergast is out for a couple of days attending to a health issue. Nothing serious, but something that he had to attend to, and Mr. Giulietta is presiding in his absence. Joe?
Thank you, Governor. For both the Metro North and Long Island, our crews have all shown up. They're continuing to operate a Saturday service with minor delays. With the heavy accumulations that we're getting on the Long Island, our situation is the same on the Long Island as it is with the Transit Authority. We are going to have to monitor how the snow accumulations are going. It can have an effect on our services later in the day. We ask again that you stay tuned to MTA info. And again, we would urge people to use caution in terms of heading towards a service, and look forward to reporting to the governor later in the day.
Thank you. And Patrick Foy, who's the Executive Director of the Port Authority.
Thank you, Governor. Echoing the governor's statement, stay off the roads. There's really no reason. Let me tell you why. At the airport, substantially all flights have been canceled. All flights at LaGuardia have been canceled. Substantially all flights at JFK have been canceled. We expect remaining flights to be canceled as the day goes on. Check with your carriers as to the status today, tomorrow, rebooking. I'll note that we're using at the airports, JFK and LaGuardia, specialty plows with 26-foot blades that can clear snow at 40 miles an hour. PATH is operating on a weekend schedule with delays, very light passenger volume due to the weather and the New Jersey Transit shutdown that was announced yesterday. I'll note that all 6 PATH stations in Manhattan are below ground. Bridges and tunnels, the George Washington Bridge, we've imposed a 35-mile-an-hour speed limitation, 25 miles an hour speed limitation on the 3 Staten Island bridges. I'll note that all bridges, Port Authority and MTA, in the event, which have not been realized yet, but in the event of sustained 50-mile-an-hour winds or higher, trucks, motorcycles, motorhomes, and car-pulled trailers would be banned. Finally, I'll note, Governor, that at the Port Authority bus terminal, substantially all service has been suspended except for Greyhound service north. New Jersey Transit, which is the largest carrier at the bus terminal, announced its service was suspended yesterday. Back to you, Governor.
You would ban motorcycles on the George Washington.
Governor, it was a tough call. It would be a tough call.
I want to talk to the person who's driving the motorcycle today. Just to recap, the roads are open, but really you shouldn't be on them unless it's an emergency. MTA trains, the underground trains are operating. The ones that hit exterior lines, we're having some issues, but they're operating. Bus service will be suspended at noon today because the roads are difficult and the buses are having trouble maneuvering. And the MTA will inform people when that suspension is lifted. That'll depend on the weather as it goes through the day. With that, any questions, comments?
Governor, is there anything that's being done in terms of homeless people with the weather situation?
Well, when the weather is drops below 32 degrees, inclement weather such as today, actually there's a different law that applies. That homeless are brought into shelter for their own good, and that law is in effect.
And specifically for this storm, is there any special efforts that are being...
The storm has triggered the 32-degree law, right, and that's being enforced by city personnel and state personnel.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You've been listening to Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York, updating New Yorkers on this blizzard of 2016. Some big notes out of that. Subway service continues to run, especially underground, but bus service, all MTA bus service will be suspended at noon today across the 5 boroughs. Buses have been having real trouble on those roads, of course, as the snow keeps falling. Also, the airports are essentially closed. No flights at LaGuardia or at JFK. Path service is operating, but with substantial delays, according to the Port Authority. The governor says, listen, the roads are open, but they are in terrible shape. So please do not drive unless it's an emergency.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to mess around. Honestly, I looked out my window this morning and I saw the snow was just blowing horizontally. Visibility, and you can see right now, is pretty much next to nothing.
Yeah, this is the LIE in Suffolk County, Brookhaven. You can see that near whiteout conditions in many areas as those winds have whipped upwards of 40 or 50 miles an hour.
And then Governor Cuomo says he will be on Long Island later on this afternoon, where coastal flooding is the main concern. So let's get right over to Mike Woods to talk a little bit more about that. Mike.
Yeah, it's the winds that are going to be churning up the seas, and of course the storm will be at its height, and the high tide time coming up at 7 o'clock. Now, speaking of the buses and why it is so difficult to get around town, look at Kew Gardens, this picture coming in from Queens off Twitter, and you can see what's going on. You can see the piles of snow on top of the car. Some of these roadways, the roads less traveled, yeah, they're pretty much going to be shut down for you if they haven't had a chance to plow them. A lot of roads have not had a chance to get the plows on through. But you're looking at most locations between 6 to 12 inches of snow already, and we're still maybe halfway through. And I just want to give you a peek at what it looks like down in Jackson Township. That's a little further down to the south and west, of course, of the metro area. And you might be able to tell in the snow depth here, looks like nearly 2 feet of snow already, and it's still coming down in that location. So not to, you know, make you freak out, but yes, indeed, it is quite possible that we could see snow totals like that around a good part of the tri-state, including the city. We're talking about foot to 2 feet of snow is possible. All right, so here's what we have on the radar right now, and we've seen a lot of these darker blue shades. That's the heavier bands of snow that have set up right over the core of the tri-state. Some of it's trying to work to the north, but it's really kind of having a hard time because the colder, drier air not quite allowing that moisture, the heavier snow bands to make it that far to the north. Here's what we have with the snow totals. These keep coming in, and we're updating them as time goes, but these are the official totals. Hoboken, a foot of snow already on the ground officially, according to the Weather Service. Nutley, New Jersey, 11 inches, 10.5 for you. In Somerset, Seaford, 9.5 inches. Central Park, still 6 inches, but that was updated at 7 o'clock this morning. So a lot of these totals will be coming up quite a bit here in the next few hours, and I'm sure we're getting more updates in. Again, on the radar and satellite, we have plenty of the moderate snow, and it looks like that rain snow line is trying to get closer to the coast. coast, but it's just not making progress. So this is staying as snow throughout the majority of this event. You might see it change over out in the east end of Long Island, parts of the Jersey Shore down to the south, but that is it. And that's why we are looking at some very impressive snow totals to come. Here's a look at the numbers as it stands right now. The lightest amounts to the extreme northern tier. Dutchess, Ulster, Sullivan, maybe a couple of inches up to as much as 5, but even that is probably not so likely. About 6 to 14 in the white shaded areas. Even that's a pretty substantial snow for you. Northern sections of Westchester County, head over into Fairfield County, and then the heavier stuff is right in the core. The pink shaded areas is where you're looking at 14 to 22 inches and up to 2 feet plus in the darker pink shaded areas, and that does include parts of the 5 boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, back into western Long Island, and yeah, that snow again is still coming down quite heavily. 27 out at Central Park, we're well below freezing in many locations. 31 in Islip, 33 in Montauk. You can see how they're flirting with that freezing point, and therefore it might be a little bit of a wintry mix there. The winds, that's the other big problem out there, and the reason we have the whiteout conditions. They are sustained at around 25 to 30 miles per hour, gust up to 43 out at Central Park, 41 in Islip. They could approach 50 miles per hour, and when you see wind speeds like that, that's when you start to see power lines coming down, trees, limbs coming down, and power outages, and that could be a huge problem for us throughout the tri-state region throughout the event. And again, another reason to stay off the roads. Visibility numbers have been down to 0 Central Park. It's back up to a quarter of a mile, and again, about to 1/16 of a mile in Islip. If you see visibility down to 1/4 of a mile or less after for 3 hours, then we have an official blizzard, and it looks like that will be happening. Coastal flooding, again, high tide cycle. That's when you're going to see the next coastal flooding issue. That's at around 7 o'clock this evening, so watch out for that. Continue to send us pictures in. We'd like to see what's going on around different parts of the tri-state, and hashtag snow on Fox. Jen and Ben, over to you.
So Mike, we're looking at these 2 to 3 inch snowfall rates an hour. That's going to continue pretty much all day.
That is going to continue through the day, through this evening, and then it starts to shut down after midnight.
All right,
that's what we're looking
a lot of
at.
snow on the way. Mike Woods, we'll check back with you in just a moment.
You definitely do not want to be on the roads right now. Fox 5's Robert Moses, he's in Prospect Heights in Brooklyn, and we saw some pictures from you out there earlier. It does not look very pretty.
Certainly not. Jen and Ben, good morning to you. I want to show you one of the main drags. This is Flatbush Avenue here in Brooklyn, and the city crews really have done a pretty good job, all things considered, getting this road to be at least passable. You can see that plow just across the way, but as we look at the mounds of snow here on the side of Flatbush, you can really see just how much we have so far, and it's showing no signs of stopping at all. And then just down Flatbush, there again is another of the plows that has been out in force this morning. We made the 8.3-mile drive from the Upper East Side here to Atlantic Terminal in Brooklyn. I want to show you some video of what this looked like. I don't think I've ever gone as slow as I went today on the FDR drive. Never made it out of first gear, or very rarely. We didn't go any more than 10 miles an hour or so. Plenty of cars had spun out on the FDR drive. Can't emphasize this enough. We will say it all day, and some people will not listen to us, but the roads are incredibly treacherous. People were spinning out right and left on the FDR. Finally made it here to Atlantic Terminal. A trip that should really take about 15 minutes took us more like an hour. And as we come back live, one of the reasons we're here is because this is such a transit hub. Not only do we have subway lines coming here to Atlantic Terminal, but we also have the Long Island Railroad, and I want to update the transit situation. We've already told you that MTA buses will be suspended beginning at noon today. So far, the trains are still running. I was just inside, spoke to an LIRR employee. He told me trains are running with delays, 20 to 25 minutes, but it's very possible the trains could shut down later on today. That is the latest live from Atlantic Terminal this morning. Ben and Jen, back to you.
All right, thank you, Robert. Yeah, you know, anything can really change with all the snow coming down. Everything gets kind of heavy, and crews do need a chance to be out there and clear off the roads.
Let's get the latest on the transit situation. Joining us now live on the phone, Kevin Ortiz, spokesman for the MTA. Kevin, the big news, of course, out of the governor's press conference, no bus service after noon today, correct?
That's correct. As the governor just announced, road conditions have really deteriorated to a point where it's really no longer safe to operate buses. So we are beginning an orderly shutdown of bus service that will be finalized by 12 noon at this point.
So what is the MTA's plan for right now?
Well, right now, in terms of bus service, we'll restore bus service as soon as it's safe to do so when, roads are passable. Again, visibility is an issue as well when it comes to road conditions. On the subway side, we're monitoring conditions, especially on the outdoor portions of our lines. We've got equipment out there that's clearing snow and ice from tracks and third rails, but again, it's coming down pretty fast, and we're monitoring conditions as closely as possible.
Kevin, how are the subways running generally? Are there delays? Are the underground portions running pretty smoothly, at least in the city?
For the most part, we really have no issues on the ground at this point. We have suspended service out to Rockaway Park and the Rockaways. That's the one suspension that we have at this point. So customers looking to get to Rockaway Park, they should be aware that there's no service out to Rockaway Park. And again, we continue to monitor the conditions throughout the city, Staten Island as well, for our Staten Island Railway customers. And we'll make a determination about service, especially on our outdoor portions of the system, hopefully, in short order.
Kevin, talk a little bit about Long Island Railroad and Metro North service, if you can. Obviously, Metro North, there's much less snow falling as you head north up into Westchester, Putnam, and Dutchess counties. But how is service looking on the LIRR?
I would probably defer to my colleagues on the railroad, but, what I know at this point is that, they'll try and run service again as long as it's safe to do so. They're continuing to monitor conditions as well. And they'll, provide service as long as it's safe to do so. But they'll make a decision moving forward in the coming hours as well.
Kevin Ortiz with the MTA, thank you so much for your time this morning.
All right, we have much more still to come here on Fox 5 as we continue following this developing storm. We're going to have team coverage from across the region. We have reporters in New Jersey, on Long Island as well as in the city. So let's take a quick break.
Yeah. And we'll be right back.
I got the scouting report on the Hyundai crossover lineup, and I got to tell you, son, I'm fired up. Got the 3-row, 7-passenger Santa Fe Sport, and the all-new Tucson, which had a heck of an off-season in the weight room.
Yep, and all backed by America's best warranty.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're also #1 in customer loyalty.
Oh, okay. Cup it.
The all-new 2016 Tucson, now just $199 a month.
Just it's more friendly than angry.
This offer ends February 1st.
Today we have an event welcoming the community. We have the kids coming in, they're displaying their artwork.
Our children are ages 3 to 5 years old. All of our children in our school have developmental delays.
Without the community, we don't exist. It's as simple as that. Our community is what makes us.
We're just not here selling furniture. We're actually here doing something for them.
So it's Ford Edge versus a Sunday drive through New Jersey.
Firing up the grill now.
Be there in 20.
Through New Jersey.
Yeah, all those confusing signs. You've got roundabouts, jug handles.
And no left turns.
But Ford Edge has voice-activated sync with navigation, so you'll get there.
Turn right.
Right to go left.
And when you got to make a move, Edge is looking out for you with a blind spot information system.
Yeah, I see ya.
That's the total package. Get a 2015 all-wheel drive Ford Edge with leather for just $249 a month.
Behave for Uncle Pete.
Bye. I'll see you guys later, man.
Now Time Warner Cable makes your internet go faster, up to 300 megs.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, it's okay, it's good.
With home Wi-Fi, powered by the latest equipment available to cover all your devices. So when you need more from your internet, it's there for you. Discover how much more is included. Get 50 meg internet for $39.99 per month. Call 1-855-1TWC. Time Warner Cable.
Hurry into Sleepy's for our lowest prices of the season. Now through Wednesday, save up to 70% off name brands throughout the store. With any size Simmons firm set, just $279 each piece. Buy any Sleepy's Laura Ashley exclusive mattress and get the box spring free. Save up to $1,200 off Serta I-Series adjustables. Plus, get up to a $200